Welcome to the Instinctive Influencers podcast, a show where influence becomes one of your tools for success. Now, here are your hosts, Brian Weber and Ed Haley.
Hi, I'm Brian.
And I am Ed.
Ed, what in the world are we doing? We've got two people on here that've been with us the whole time during all of our craziness, but not just the show, but like before the show and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What we got here? So we got my wife, Michelle.
Yeah, and then I got my wonderful wife, Tammy.
Yep. And hopefully when I go to edit this, it won't be just the screen of Tammy by herself the whole time.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
It's like live and direct. So, no, hey, so how are things going? You guys doing all right there in Deutschland? It's not called Deutschland, is it? It's
Deutschland.
Deutschland. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So how's life? How's life, Ed?
I mean, busy, getting ready to start the next chapter. So, yeah.
When
Hectic,
do you start
busy, rainy?
When do you can start the whole pack-up process and getting all that set up?
When my wife tells me she wants me to arrange it.
Good answer.
Yeah. Hold on. I think that's one of the things we may talk about today.
But we do have orders. We have the orders in our hands. So
do you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's half the battle.
Yeah.
It is.
That's the scary part, right? It's always this, like, the sooner you can get it, the sooner you can start the process. Like Michelle, she was on the website yesterday for the housing area where we'll be going, and that's one of the things you got to have. And it's like, okay, I can't get it fast enough, that type of thing, to get on lists and all this stuff. But so now that you have the orders, what's your next step?
What is the next step?
Well, for me, I'm going to be taking the dog to the vet to make sure that she's ready to travel.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, I think it's just going to be booking transportation and
start all that craziness and
yeah. I was just thinking about this, Ed. The idea of moving or PCSing, like that could be a show in itself, right? That could be an influencer show, but by itself, just because of how much goes. People don't realize, like, with our lifestyles and our family, all that, like, what goes into it. Like, there's a lot.
Well, you guys should be professionals by now. Over the last 3 or 4 years.
Get ready to do it again.
Yeah. Well, but we also were the fortunate ones where we sat at one place for 10 years, so, and that was easy. So, yeah. Well, we've introduced who they are, Ed, and I've got all these crazy questions from this cool book that I bought. So what we're going to do is we're not going to allow anything but instinctive response answers from these lovely ladies. And we'll start off, we'll go bounce back and forth. You're not getting the same question, okay? So you all each get a different question. We're only going to do 5 each, okay? So right off the bat.
Here we go.
Nope, first is Michelle's, real quick.
good.
Name your biggest what if.
My biggest what if?
Yes.
What if the sky actually falls? What if anything? What if our stuff doesn't make it to where we're going? What are we going to do?
It does happen.
Exactly, especially with all the transportation issues they've been having right now.
So funny, Michelle. We had a SAR major here, and he was going back to the States to Fort Bragg. He shipped his household goods, and then they said, no, you're going to stay in Germany. You're going to go about an hour from here. But all his stuff was on its way back to North Carolina.
The ocean.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Tammy, you're up. Do you usually say what's on your mind, or do you hold back?
No, I always. So I have a problem.
That's a problem?
I don't have a filter. So it generally just comes out, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
It's one of my favorite things about you, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it from my mama.
Did you pick that on purpose?
Hey, it's in the book. I'm just randomly picking. There's 3,000 questions, Ed. How could I just do that on purpose?
Brian, I'm gonna tell you, you could find 3,000 people that know Tammy and ask that question, and everybody will give the exact same answer.
Which is why we all laughed.
If they've known her for 15 minutes, they'll give you the same answer.
Oh yeah. All right, Michelle. What topic would you be totally clueless about if it came up in a conversation?
I'm not sure we have time to list all the topics that I would be completely clueless about.
No,
Automobiles.
Aircraft. There we go. Aircraft. Well, yeah.
I think that's good ones. Yeah.
All right, then. Well, Tammy, what is something that simultaneously intrigues you and scares you?
Skydiving. Yeah, I want to do it. It looks so amazing and exhilarating. And then you go back to Michelle's what if? What if the parachute doesn't open?
Yeah.
So
never, yeah. Nope.
Yeah, he's the same way.
Nope.
I want to do it. But
I don't think they have a parachute big enough for him.
Have you seen the indoor skydiving things? You should try one of those.
Oh,
yeah.
That's an idea.
Thanks, Michelle.
You float.
So
fantastic.
We went out with some friends. We went to Topgolf, but before we went to Topgolf, they went to the indoor skydiving one here in El Paso, and you should see this stuff they do. It's amazing.
I mean, I think my concern is that she has a 14-month-old knee. And so I worry a little bit about that.
Well, this one's air pushing you up, and there's a handler in there, so I don't think.
Yeah, there's somebody with you.
I mean, I guess it always could happen. What if? But
what if? See,
I think your possibilities may be low.
That's it.
I might. She got to wear the GoPro. That's the only way I'm gonna let her do it is she wears a GoPro.
That would be awesome.
I'll do that too. So
my worry is if I'm in like one of those air machines, or even if I'm skydiving. If you ever watch those, like how their face gets like I might come out of this with completely like my face just droops down because it stretches it so much.
Oh, I don't even need
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, there's one in Tennessee. Not going to be too far from y'all.
Hey, look, here we go.
I'll send you the information.
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Michelle.
Sounds like Michelle's going with you.
Hey, I'll do it with you. I'll hold the camera.
It's a date.
No. All right, so Michelle, here we go. If you live to be 100 years old, will you want to do something extra special?
Probably not. I mean, have a party with my family and.
If you live to be 100, I don't know if I'll be around that long.
You'll probably outlive me.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, just a party with family and friends.
I'm thinking about it too.
I don't. If I did that, like maybe that's when I decide to skydive at 100. I'll just go back to that.
Time.
Just give me cake. I just want cake.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No cake.
This isn't okay. So this next question, I found this one and I see it and I'm like, this isn't intriguing. So this might be a group question. I don't know. And I can tell you why in a little bit. Hold on. Tammy, have you ever done a criminal background check on someone you've dated?
No, I haven't. He told me everything he did, so I didn't have to do it.
Whoa. Easy.
Killer. Letting out.
And there you go. I just say whatever, right?
Easy, killer.
So as recruiters, we're allowed to do background checks on people. And I would check just random people sometimes to see if I was around a good person or not.
Nice.
I don't know
Whatever.
if that's yeah.
You married above your means. You're good.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how many questions I've asked so far. I think I asked, you've had 2 or 3. You've had, okay, here we go. So I think we're on 3 for you, right?
Sure.
Okay. Who is the one person you hug that you don't want to let go of?
Oh. You, honey. I don't know how to answer that.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I feel like it's somebody who's not on camera there.
No,
or to
no.
somebody's.
That just makes me think of my grandmother. You know, we
Yeah.
lost her a couple years ago, and
Has it been? No, it's been about it.
it's been about
2 years.
Yeah.
She's someone that I could hug and not let go of, for sure.
Oh, this is a good one. This particular. I think we lost Tammy. Did we lose Tammy?
Her computer logged out. Yep. She's coming back.
That restarted.
No, she can't hear the next question. Oh no.
Oh, all right. What's the next question?
Well, the next question was going to be, in a disagreement, do you think it's better to be right or peaceful?
In a disagreement, do you think it's better to be right or peaceful?
This is my question?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, it's better to be right.
Okay,
but peaceful works.
Yeah, I think you're.
It works.
I don't think that. I don't think being right was the right answer.
I think it
don't
depends
know.
on if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think sometimes Tammy knows that I'm wrong, and she'll just be peaceful about it and go along to get along. So that's why I say I don't think. For me,
we do
for her
that.
and I guess.
Yeah, I think we do that too. Like sometimes it's just like, all right, it's kind of like walk away moment. We still don't have Tammy back on.
No, it's those are those head to the basement moments and work things out.
Oh, there she is. Okay, she's back.
Yes, just took me a second.
Huh. Yeah. No, it is. It's like sometimes it's like you want to be right. Dude, my dog is if he makes one wrong move, he's going to totally rip everything out of the TV and off the
He had to low crawl underneath all the cords.
Yeah. He's on the other side of this table and there's cords everywhere because we got a camera up, we got a light up, we got the microphone stuff up, and it's like this guy. He is possibly I think he's a cat. I think he's a cat dog. He acts like a cat, and he very much sounds like a cat all the time, like moaning and stuff.
He's loving.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the next question for Michelle. Here it is. What do you dislike most about the current city you live in?
The lack of humidity, and it's dry. There's no green. Do you just need one thing?
It's whatever you want to add.
It's very beautiful here. It's just I miss the greenery and the humidity from back home.
She's still working on her mic.
Yeah. There she goes.
That's okay.
There.
Hey, there we
Found a
go.
shortcut.
Hey, listen, if we go one show without a technical difficulty, that's fine. You know, I mean, if it's not like me having to get up to use the bathroom in the middle of it or whatever, hey, it works. All right, Tammy, I got you.
Okay.
What does creativity mean to you? Is it free flowing? Does it involve your heart and soul?
That's interesting.
So when I think about creativity, the first thing I do is I think about my son, Michael, because he is so creative and it just comes naturally and it flows freely. And so I think, it absolutely comes from the heart, your brain, your soul. Like it's all part of the package.
Yeah, I mean, creativity. It's a thing, but you know what? Like, I always feel like it's like a natural thing. Like you can tell when it's being forced versus natural. Like with certain people, right? Whether it be writing, whether it be art, whether it be just lots of different things.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ed, you don't know what we're talking about. Stop acting like you.
I'm lost in thought.
It's creativity. It's getting out there.
I can't control it.
Unstoppable. So here we go. What would be the worst type of jury case for you to be on if you had to be impartial?
Anything relating to children or elderly. Anything.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
How many questions have we done so far?
I don't know, but that was a softball. You should give Michelle another one.
Another one?
Yeah, that was a softball. That was an easy one.
All right, then. What is one thing you can get in your hometown that you can't get anywhere else?
Oh, Dixon Donuts.
Oh man, this is gonna be rough. I knew what you meant, Michelle. We went down there to buy. Tammy bought something from a yard sale page, and we had to go down there.
Well, it's the best Dixon's Donuts place. They have really good breakfast sandwiches too.
Those little small towns like that do have good places to eat.
Yes, they do.
One more laugh, Tammy, and we have to up this to PG-13.
You started it, not Tammy.
I'm very disappointed. Just want to go. Yeah, I'm very disappointed.
It was your husband.
I know.
Hey,
that's what I'm talking about.
When you serve as long as we have, buddy, your mind just wanders. Come on.
I did not go there. I was more creative than that.
Oh, whatever.
I'm thinking, did I say it wrong? I know how to pronounce my hometown.
Nope.
Okay. Hey, softball one, and then I want your opinion on it. You're going to tell us what it is and then your opinion, Tammy.
Okay.
What was the last movie you saw in a movie theater? No spoilers, though.
We saw Spider-Man. What one?
Far From Home? Is that one?
Into the Multiverse.
No, the new one.
Homecoming?
No.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah. Thoughts? Yeah. I mean, you can't give spoilers.
Oh, no, it was brilliant. We thoroughly enjoyed it. They did so many different things to bring the Marvel universe together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's amazing.
So with that, you obviously y'all liked it. We want to watch it, but it's one of those things where it's too long for us to go to a movie theater with our kids and sit there. But we prefer to do it at home, with Disney Plus. Did you all see the advertisement for the spinoff almost of that, the multiverse deal with Doctor Strange?
Yes.
You gotta watch Spider-Man first.
Yeah.
No, I get okay. No, I get that because I know I understand like the whole premise of the new Spider-Man, but the Doctor Strange thing, like it is freaky, like just freaky multiverse, like crazy. And I'm like, this is amazing. They're doing this because like Ed and I, we're both DC fans in a sense, in most part, because we both like Batman. And in the DC side, here I'm nerding out real quick. The DC side of things, they did a massive, infinite universe type thing, and the 52 universe. It's
the different Earths,
all the different Earths. So I would love to see that side of it also on the DC side, but I don't think they'll ever do it. Anyways, I'm a nerd.
Yeah, well, but I do think that I like that Marvel is taking the Disney shows and they're incorporating them into the cinematic universe. So I do like that.
Very much so. So I'm gonna ask one more question for each, and then we're gonna move on to the actual show.
Yep.
This is the warm up.
My face already hurts from laughing.
Did you have donuts at home or?
No.
There's so many jokes I could play off this. It's a G-rated show. How do you, Michelle? How do you feel about thrift shops or flea markets?
Oh, I love them.
The
Me
best.
too.
I love them. We just went to the On Post thrift store. I went twice last week or this week. Wait, it's Sunday.
That's my girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you sure you guys can't come to Campbell?
Why pay full price for anything if you don't have to?
Yeah. So we haven't done the flea markets here yet. And I want to because so we have a good friend of ours, Omar Valdez. He has this thing. It's like a big wok, right?
Oh,
and it's
awesome.
propane, and you put a little bit of oil, and he cooks all his Hispanic food in and stuff like out in the garage when we were back at Colorado. And I'm like, I need one of those in my life. And he said the best place to get them is at the flea markets, but Food King sells them for like $100. I'm thinking about just buying one of them, but it's huge. Like every bit of it is. I mean, it's like the wok is like this big. It's huge. It's gargantuan. Wow. And he cooks some of the best food in it, and I want to learn how to do that. Made homemade enchiladas last night. Actually, it was really good.
Nice.
Last one for you, Tammy.
Okay.
What one thing in particular makes you feel good about yourself?
Ugh.
Well, that wasn't comforting. That you can eat all the donuts?
No.
Anyway.
I don't know. What one thing
makes you feel good about yourself?
Oh, I have one for Tammy.
Look at that.
You can always make everybody feel comfortable and welcomed.
Boom.
Oh.
You just have that presence about you.
Oh, that's so nice.
I didn't. Yeah.
Well, because the first time
I realized that.
Well, the first time I met you, I felt like I knew you forever.
Right.
Like you just have that type of personality. People gravitate to you.
Mm. Oh.
I feel so special. I'm going to cry.
Well, hence, that's why I have Ed on the show, because he's the same way.
Stop trying to piggyback off my...
The yin to the yang.
He likes when you say caveat instead of piggyback.
Oh, I know. I try to say that at least, once a week or so.
It's his favorite word.
Oh, it's not my favorite word. So, quick story. There I am in class, and
of course,
people have used it 5 times. I already counted 5 times, and I'm losing my mind. We have a group text that's with instructors and without instructors. I just pull up my phone, and I'm just like, I look it up, I screenshot it, I send it to the group, and I say, please stop using this word incorrectly. Because it drives me nuts when people misuse a word that doesn't really mean what they think it means. Sure enough, within 5 minutes, the instructor starts using it. And he doesn't know that I've sent this out to everybody in my class. So, yeah, it's funny. Anyways, enough about my idiocracies. Right. So that was 3,000 questions about you or about me. Instinctive response. But what we're going to get into is we're actually going to get, Ed actually came up with this idea is, hey, let's have the wives on our 100th episode. That's what today is. See, there's my sign. And I don't know if you can see it very well.
Oh no, you can see it.
That's totally homemade. It's totally homemade.
I see the 100. I don't see the rest of it, but fine.
Well, put your glasses up a little higher. But today's 100th episode, it's like, why not we just do a show with the 2 people who we've been with the most besides each other, and that's our wives. And Ed, you found this thing. You found this one article. It's about 20 leadership lessons from 16 years of marriage. Now, how long have you all been married? Who's going to answer first?
I know. It'll be 19 years in July.
Yeah.
I only know there's a sign. We have a sign going up our stairway that Tammy made.
Peter.
No, Bobby made it.
Bobby made it. So she had her friend paint this sign, and it literally just says 071803. So I see it every day. I never forget. Somebody in this room has at times been like, I'm not saying who.
Are you talking about the dog?
No.
He's got to be.
Because he's not talking about me.
I feel like...
No.
But anyway, yeah, we have a giant sign to remind me.
So... I don't have to read it. I was looking at this. This is about 16 years of marriage, and we actually have been married for about 16 and a half years, just under, because it was September of 2005. So we're not there yet.
What a patient woman.
What can I say? I know how to drug them right. By the way, this show is brought to you by this really sweet shirt I have. I don't know if anybody can read it.
Do you need the article?
No, I don't hear anything.
It's not easy being my wife's arm candy. She can't hear.
No.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. But this shirt was brought to you by my good friend, Blair Anthony, who bought it for me.
Are you frozen?
All right, Ed. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to go through these 20 leadership lessons. And So there was a reading assignment, and some people did, and some people didn't read it. So we'll have to share this with the people who didn't read it. It talks about like this.
That was a blank screen. Nice try.
Hey, that's got to be one of these things. Like
it's somewhere in there. All right. So what happened is the author just basically talks about in this, they got married and then the things that they learned throughout their marriage. And, it's like you almost have to balance off each other in certain instances. Like I am literally, like I would say in our relationship, I'm literally clueless on how to keep my kids alive. And that's what she does. She keeps them both alive because I'm not very good at it. Yeah, we know. Right, Sam?
Yeah.
Why would you say that? You talking about my kids or your kids?
My kids.
Oh, I was just saying, how do you know that I can barely keep my kids alive?
Wow, I couldn't either. And they're adults, and I still probably could barely do it. So,
yeah. But that's what this is about. Like these 20 items. Like the very first one. I don't know if you guys were in tune to see the very first. The very first one. It's about what is taught us about leadership is about being strong. So within the marriage, being strong in the marriage, and that can be one of those things that some people struggle with. I've met people who struggle with that, and often they go down the pathway of ending the marriage. What do you all think about that whole being strong in the marriage?
Well, it depends on the aspect. I know I'm strong. I've made it through 5 or 6 deployments.
Yeah.
I've held the house down. I've taken care of everything. Even when he returns, I take care of everything.
Right.
I learned to be strong from my very first deployment. He left in March? March 05?
04.
04.
Was that the first time?
Yes. Yeah. And Fallujah happened
in April.
And I didn't hear from this fool until June. He didn't call home. He didn't do anything. Now, granted, I completely understand there were long lines for the telephones and, mail wasn't coming as fast as it should have been. And I was the wingnut that was watching CNN,
Yep.
But I still held it together. I made sure that Mike was good to go every single day. And I just grew stronger day by day. It was a learning process, but I totally learned how strong I actually am from that first deployment.
Yeah. So, hold on. So a lot of people know who Ethan and Eva are but we don't talk a lot about Mike, Ed. And who is Mike?
Mike is the oldest son.
He'll be
30
this year.
No.
30?
Yeah, 30. Yeah.
But good night. You've got a 30-year-old, Ed?
Yeah.
She's too elegant to have somebody that old. Yes. That's
great. And then we have the baby, who will be 26 this year.
Yeah, and that's Kaya.
That's Kaya.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So, this is something we actually talked a little bit about some of these last week, Brian, Tammy, and I. And this is one that was interesting because the perspective has always been, well, I don't like lines. But I really realized talking to her last week that it was more than just waiting in line for the phone. It was the dealing with the emotion of that phone call for me. So that was a strength I just didn't have right away. I had been deployed before that in previous enlistments, but not to a combat zone like that. So I was still figuring things out. And then literally we got on the ground, and within 2 weeks, the first Fallujah happened. So just talking last week, but Michelle and Tammy both, like the Army wife thing. That takes a strength that you and I are never going to understand it. I remember graduating from WLC, one of those LCs. And the 3rd Corps Sergeant Major was there. And he basically told the soldiers, what you guys do is important, but it ain't crap compared to the people sitting behind you. The Y's behind you, they're what makes this army go.
That was Sergeant Major Sayatola.
Sergeant Major retired Neil Sayatola.
We've talked about Sayatola before.
Yeah, Sayatola said that, and he's right. Like, really, you can't go do what you got to do if you don't know that Ethan and Eva are being taken care of. And same thing for us. So, the strength of an Army wife, to me, be strong is all over that.
I think we went to with a cognitive approach to it in a sense. She stopped going to a job because we needed her to take care of the children and everything else, because we had learned that it's not easy to juggle, like I'm away, she's working a job and she's going to take care of the children. So it's like, hey, let's do the single income type of family for a little while. And it's kind of just stayed that way because I think it's more beneficial for our family,
It works for us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So with that being strong, that is, I guess that's something that listeners could relate to, like within a relationship, within a marriage, whatever. But those that are listening that are on the military side, they really understand that whole. It can be a testament. I think the very next one, this one, Michelle plays better off from me because sometimes I want to have that. Like that apathy instead of empathy, and it's just be kind. Like I want to be kind. But you see people get burnt so much, Ed, like in our field of work, right? We see that. And it's like when you come home, you learn to be a little bit kinder to people, because it's like you don't want to bring your work life home with you and be an animal. You have to learn how to be kind, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So empathy is one of those words I'm not very good at. But I do. It is a difference, and I've always thought this. There's a difference between Sergeant Weber, Sergeant Haley, and Brian or Ed or James. There's a difference in those, and I think early on in your career you don't understand that difference, and then as we progressed, I felt like I got better at understanding that difference. Mike had moments when I treated him like he was a soldier, and I got told at times, that's not one of your privates. That's your son. So I think that separation is a little bit to learn to be kinder. And then I remember Tammy. So this is a story, but Tammy used to come to work with me. And when you're at work, Brian, you're in your zone. You're like, hey, go mop that floor. Hey, you go take out that trash. And Tammy used to say, oh, she's gone again. But Tammy used to say to me,
she used to say all the time to you, oh, she's gone again.
Yeah, she's gone again.
It's okay.
No, but she would say, she'd be like, please? And I'd be like, no, they're soldiers. And later I realized that she was right. And
we're going to get to that one. We'll get to that. I think that's number 20, but we'll get to that one. Yeah.
So that was kind of the be kind thing. And now again, as you grow as a leader, as you grow as a soldier, I feel like it gets easier to be kind at work. And then you just got to bring that back into the home. I've never talked to my neighbors as much as we do here. Never. No. Ever.
You talk to your neighbors?
Yeah, I don't like talking to my neighbors. Normally, I don't talk to the people that live around us.
Right.
The last place we were at Campbell, we did. And then here. But before that, I didn't. I just go to work, give them one of those, and keep it moving. So I've worked on being kinder.
I struggle with that when you said about treating the children different. It's like when it comes to discipline, like I'm very like boom, 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 boom. It's just like ingrained in me. So I struggle with that. I don't knife. Well, I may have once or twice. I don't know. But I struggle with that. Like I'm not a softie. It's like discipline is discipline. You know what I mean? Like whether it's a child or an adult, it's the same to me. But I have a hard time differentiation sometimes. And it can be tough, right? But we're going to move on to number 3. So you can word this too. But I wanted to hear, because this is one of the ones I highlighted, Ed. Number 3. This is one of the ones I highlighted. And this is one of the ones that I wanted to get Michelle's thought on, but it's be committed. Like leadership lessons of being committed to the relationship in those tough times.
Well, and I think this is another one that's even more so specific to us being in the military atmosphere, because you have to be strong, you have to be committed.
Yeah.
Like, you have no wayward, because when you leave or your service member leaves, they got to know that you're committed and you're there for the relationship and the marriage so they can continue their mission.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. And if you stay, committed to Jody, that's okay too. We got it. I understand.
Well, and it goes to be.
I'm joking.
You're dating yourself.
Do they not say that anymore? Is it a new term now?
Jody's not a thing anymore.
Is it not?
No.
What is it? What is it now?
You got rid of the cadences. The Jody cadences had to go away. They were offensive.
Well, I never heard one. So I never heard a Jody cadence.
Oh, you ready? No.
No.
I'm not sure I want to hear that on air.
No.
I'm pretty sure no.
Not when Ethan's our number one fan. No.
But the thing is like you could take the idea of be committed to your relationship. You take it to the next level, like within our work. And Tammy, she works locally there. And probably transferring, so she may be able to relate to that. But also, Michelle, with what she does here in the home of being committed, it's like you take that should be your foundation in a sense. One of the things, right? And if you're committed to that and you show that commitment to that, in my mind, I would think you can translate that to other things. And it almost shows, right? It shows it shows your character of who you are when you show that commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if you say you're going to do something, be committed and do it.
Oh, yeah. Whew.
Absolutely.
I think we've talked about that a few times, Ed.
Yeah, we have. And then again, I mean, I hate to go back to it, but when I first became a sergeant, right? Like the commitment, I was confused on how to balance the commitment. So I was going in on Saturdays and doing stuff at work and, working late, going in early, staying through lunch. Tammy would have an appointment or whatever, and I would be like, well, I got to go to work. So that balance, that's something else that we learn over time is I felt like kind of, now, of course, once you get to be a little more senior, you can just be like, yeah, I'm going to take care of this at home. Right. When you're a junior, you got a lot of people that ask permission to go do it. Yeah. But yeah, I did struggle with it. I mean, I remember going in on Saturdays to build a counter in my office. Remember that? I used to go in and do construction.
A calendar?
No, counter. Like
a counter.
Customer service counter. Oh, in the shop office. I was building a table in a Expando van, but I was going in on Saturday. So that was robbing Mike and Tammy of that time. You know? Because I was confused about how to balance the commitment part.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like when we show that we're committed to the family too, and how we go about it. Like, so we like one of the things we do since we've been here, and we try to do it at Carson. Was like we go on weekend like hikes every weekend. Like
Lots of hikes.
Like we make the kids pull away from electronics, and we go and find a new trail. Like they have to carry their own water and all that stuff. And I'm actually, but it's one of those things though. We're committed to the relationship to go and do something outside of the home.
Well, we pack a lunch, so we're forced to be together.
Yeah,
forced. You're not having the kids carrying jugs of water on their head or nothing like that, though.
They should, but I try. She won't let it happen. I mean, I'm doing my best. Ed, don't sound so disappointed. Ed, do you get that list in front of you, Ed?
Let me bring it up here.
Oh my goodness, you don't have it in front
of you. No, it's right here. I do.
Is that the crack screen one or
it's not cracked.
The device?
It's just it's only the cover.
Look at that face.
It's just the cover.
All right.
He's about all right. So what's that next one, Ed? We talked about being committed.
So what's the next one, Tam?
We're on be committed.
Oh, no, we just did that one.
Oh, yeah. We're on listen.
So that means now you got
my computer went out.
Okay, so now that we're at listen, now you got to lead into the listen.
I do.
Do not remember. Don't be so blunt. But yes, Tammy, could you tell us a little bit about listen?
I could tell you a whole lot about listening.
As a lesson in marriage?
So for me, I really have to listen. I have a hard time sometimes multitasking when it comes to listening. and I have to learn. It's like lifelong learning. Every day I have to make myself stop and pay attention to what he's saying to me or anybody else is saying to me so that I get the message that they're trying to say. And it's crucial because you can drop or lose so much in a conversation if you're not listening.
Yeah. What did you just say?
Yeah,
exactly.
That is correct. Yeah, you can lose a lot. It's funny too because she got on to me not too long ago where I was so can you see the electronic device, and I was doing this and she's talking. I'm like, and I'm still typing and I'm trying to listen and type at the same time, but she said something and I didn't hear it. And so now I'm trying to do more of like just put it down, let me listen, take the few moment, but we get distracted easily, I think. I'm
the exact same way. If he starts talking and it's something really important, I know I have to put it down and just focus on what he's saying, or else I'm not going to get it.
Yep. Stop crushing that candy. Yep. I got you.
Be an active listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And we talk about active listening. It's funny how I can, Ed, and can you transition with that? Like how we can be active listeners at work so well, but then we get home and we're like, I really messed that up.
Yeah, Brian. So listening's not one of my strongest suits either. But I do listen. Actually, I'm better at listening to Tammy than I am the kids. I hope they don't listen. Like to this moment, I definitely am better at listening to Tammy. I mean, they're adults now, but still, when they talk, it's just like I don't know. I don't care who Rihanna is pregnant by. I don't care about that's the stuff they want to talk about, and I'm like, oh yeah, So, but with Tammy, I'm a little bit better.
Like
most of the time, the majority of the time. More often than not.
He's better at listening to me than I am to listening to him.
Are you?
Yeah, he's better.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know how, because I think we each, it doesn't matter. I think I suck at it. Okay, I'm just going to say it.
I like to say sometimes, okay, I'll wait till you're done. And I'll just stand there patiently. I do it to the kids too.
Yeah.
Until they're ready to listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a splitter before Tammy does another episode.
Yeah. Or you just get two mics like this.
Yeah. I have to have Tammy has to listen to me say that I want another mic for this.
Oh, and it works. It helps.
It does. I do have the old mic arm on this today.
Is that the one that you got from me?
Yeah, that's the original. Original mic.
All the OG.
Yeah.
We moved out the Hall of Fame.
So I have a mic arm, but that stays on the desk. When I come to the transition to the couch, I go with this. It's like a stand that I found a bunch of these real cheap on basically a pack of 4 on Amazon, and they help because you can move them around. You can do everything you need to with them. So now that Tammy has come back to us, we can proceed on.
All right.
The next one, the next leadership lesson that I feel like we already did well is talking, and I guess that transitions well from listening. Like,
oh yes,
you have to be able to talk to listen, things like that. Did you have something you want to say about that? Talking.
Don't bottle things up and say what you mean and mean what you say.
Push it all down real deep until it hurts and you cry it out.
Then we can argue about it. Then we can work on those listening skills, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So this is something that my old man was really terrible for, just keeping stuff bottled up. And then when it all got to the top, he would explode and scream and do all his craziness. And then, and then he'd calm back down and he'd just bottle it all back up. And to this day, I mean, he's 77 years old and he still does it. Mm-hmm. And I can be bad at it at times.
Yeah.
But I think we talk pretty well. I think we do a good job sometimes we say things, there's things, that we don't need to say. We just say it. So, I mean, there's things I say about work. Yeah, there's things I say about work that I'm sure she doesn't care about. And there's things that she might say that I don't really care about either. But, but we do. I don't think we really bottle things up.
No. The only issue sometimes, no, is so I'll come home and I'll just vent about work. And that's all I'm doing is venting. Yes. I'm not asking for guidance. I'm not asking for advice. I'm just venting. And halfway through venting, he'll be like, well, I don't know why you just don't do this. So he wants to give me the solution, and I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking to vent. And he's getting better at allowing me to vent.
I think that it's my protectiveness. Like, it's me wanting to, when something is troubling our significant other, right? We want to take that away from them. We want to help them with that.
Yeah. No,
and that's it. I think that's what my intention is. But now that she's kind of expressed, hey, like, again, back to talking. She says, hey, I just want you to listen. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to solve my problems.
Right.
And then I say, okay. And I listen. And if it's a problem like leadership at work, I say, you should listen to Instinctive Influencers more often. That's what I say.
Oh, wow.
Nice plug.
I mean, it's we're here to help you.
Yeah.
So. No, it's funny. I could literally tell you how, like, if I come home from work, like what you said, you vent after. I don't like to bring my work home. And a lot of times she'll ask me, hey, how was work today? And I always the same phrase every single time. It's work.
Oh,
and then we move on. Yeah,
that's he's been doing that for 16 years. So.
16 years of that. I just don't. I don't like to talk about work. I'd rather talk about other things. Because it's almost like I got to get that behind me and get that out of my mind. And I don't know. It's almost like I need that segregation to help me focus. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be wrong.
I hear what you're saying, Brian, but that can also, like, you not sharing can also lead to you being separate from Michelle. Because you still have to share. You still have to talk. James used to get so frustrated at work. He would come home and just go play the PlayStation or the Xbox all night long, and I wouldn't see him. And so there would be a complete disconnect between us until he actually started talking. And once he started talking, then there's no longer that disconnect or that separation. It actually works much better.
Well, and early on too, as a younger mother with young kids, stay-at-home mother, after I'd been working all these years, I needed adult conversation because I've been talking to babies and 2-year-olds all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, here we are 16 and a half years later. I still answer it the same way.
Yeah, but now I'm just used to it. And I have other adult conversations throughout the day. So
and Brian is not. That's the whole donut thing. Brian is not an adult conversation.
Hey,
sorry, buddy.
I've been doing adult conversation. Come on. No, I mean, I know. I totally get what Tammy said there, and I understand like that aspect of it. It's something about like what we do or what we engage in. Like, it really, really has to like make me seriously mad or upset about something before I want to talk about that. Because I always feel like there's other things we can talk about. Like our children or what's happened here during the day. I don't know. It maybe I got to look at it differently. It's just that's a hard. You know what? Habit's a thing.
Habit is.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I vent when especially when you're getting messages here. You're at home. You're getting text about whatever aviation unit doing something stupid, and you're trying to deal with it. But I think I also tell her what's going on so that she understands why I'm in my phone and not paying attention enough to her. Because it happens here and there, and it's like, this guy is doing blah, 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 blah. I got to fix it real quick. Just give me a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But talk. I think, like I said, I think we're pretty good at that one.
We're going to skip down a couple here, Ed.
Good. Excellent.
We're going to skip down. Actually, I wanted to get to that one at the number 8 there. forgive no matter how hard it is, and this is, to me, I think it reflects back upon the other things we talked about already up the top part, like being strong, be kind, committed, listen, and talk. I really think that whole forgive no matter how hard it is, it's, I think in a marriage, and after a certain amount of time, you realize the type of personality people are. So sometimes it's easier, I would say, for some. For others, it may not be, but it's easier to kind of understand, be like, all right, I forgive the idea that he's just wanting to not talk about work right now, or that he's playing on the Xbox for a little while longer than he should, or, like, because he needs that moment to kind of recollect. I don't know. That whole forgive no matter how hard it is, I think that can be tough, but sometimes when you've been in a marriage and you understand each other, it can be also easier.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just easier to forgive and move on than to dwell on something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Me, I can't hold a grudge. It takes too much work to hold on to a grudge, so I don't. I look at the situation and I'm like, okay, that's it. We've dealt with it. I forgive him. I forgive me. We're over it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Gemini, so I can get like angry about something, and I'm telling you about an hour later, I forget why I was angry, and I'm just like, wasn't nothing, and I just move on. So it's very my two personalities, right? Like I can just flip to angry Ed, and then why was I angry again? Yeah, it's fine. And then watch TV. Like, I'm very easy to do that. Like, not with soldiers. So if they're listening, it doesn't work for you.
No, it doesn't work for you. No,
I write it down in a book while I'm mad at them.
Oh, yeah. So you can remember it later and hold a grudge.
Why was I mad? Oh, that's right.
I think that transitions well to the very, very next one, and then we'll jump a few more. I think the very next one is critical, Ed and Tammy and Michelle. It's called have patience.
Yes.
I might get roasted here.
I'm the one that could get roasted in our relationship.
Having patience.
I have not always had patience.
No. What?
You said you're a Gemini. She's a Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio, so I don't forgive. I just write people off.
Yeah. Write them off. Goodness. She didn't write me off. No. But
I'll keep you around.
Yeah.
I don't want to raise kids by myself.
Exactly.
I'm joking.
But having patience in a marriage, though, that's a thing. Like it can be tough and it can be easy at the same. Like I may have just said that about the previous, but it literally can be a tough thing to do because it's like you want it your way. We're going to do it this way. And then it's like, no, I can't control the other person.
That's something I had a lot of trouble with.
Yeah.
A lot of trouble with.
Yeah, I'm with you, Michelle.
Yeah. Which is probably why we even fought when we first got married, because I'm better now, but I was a very controlling person. I like things a certain way. And I think I used to think my way was the best way to do them because I'm also very type A.
Yeah.
I'm a mess.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. That very first argument we had, like we were in a little apartment, East High Ave, I think is where we lived in Ohio.
New Philly, yep.
I remember specifically sitting on the couch and she getting mad and throwing something and then stomping upstairs. And I was like, well, that's the first.
I remember that too.
It'll happen again.
Pretty sure I had that whole argument by myself.
I literally didn't say anything.
And I threw a pillow. I didn't throw anything hard or sharp.
Yeah, he made it sound like a plate or
it was
a spear or something.
It was like 3 or 4 knives.
Oh my goodness.
She shot at me with a gun, put holes in the wall.
Don't say stuff like that.
No. But at that moment, I felt like I knew what I needed to do in the relationship, even though I've irked her on purpose multiple times since then. But I knew patience was key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you're agreeing with me, Tammy, about irking on purpose. I think there's something there.
Do you irk me on purpose?
I don't irk you. You irk me on purpose.
I don't do it on purpose. It's accidentally on purpose. Go ahead.
Accidentally.
No, there's
the Yeti is yours.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Before you do that, all I have to do, I'll do one of these.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay,
man.
now.
no. It's. I'm patient. I have a lot of patience. A lot.
Are they all living still, or?
My problem is that I have OCD as well. So after years of having things and doing things a certain way, this guy still tests my patience about not doing it the way that I do it. Not putting it where I put it.
Oh, yeah.
Not,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, my question would be then:
I
you have
feel
all
you.
those books behind you, right?
yes.
Are they? You said OCD. Are they in a specific order?
Yes.
And if they're moved,
Oh my gosh, that would be it.
Right. Like, you can't see it, but literally, Brian, I mean, we're talking like a fingertip from the edge. All of them are pretty much uniformed unless I've touched them.
They're measured.
Like,
I love you, Tammy.
Hi.
You are my person.
oh yeah.
I love you too, Michelle.
I can't, Ed. I dare you. Move a few of them.
Don't do it.
but that does generate patience, though, right? Like we. So we have the ongoing battle we've had for 16 years. It's ongoing. I think it's a strategic psychological operations against me, but I never know where to put my dirty clothes. Never know.
the kitchen.
No, because like
That's where I put them.
I always thought I had a specific basket. There'll be a basket there one day, another day there isn't. Then there's a new basket, and then there's a no and I never know. So I feel as if though I'm being tested constantly.
See, and I hear he wants to start doing laundry more often. So he always knows where it is.
I mean,
There you
Okay,
go.
I'll just throw them on the floor. Whatever.
so mine is the kitchen, Brian. And my wife gets on a whim and she will move stuff around in that kitchen.
Oh,
And I'll have it in my hand and I'll open the cabinet. I'll be like, well, this is where it was before. And then I get, why is the ice cream scoop in the drawer with the silverware? I'm like, that's where it was last week. I don't know. Like, so yeah, she will change that kitchen around and she's always after me like, why is that pot there?
Yes, patience.
It made sense to me. It went with the flow of the kitchen, I thought.
Yeah. I know, I get that. Did you literally just unplug yourself?
I did. I had enough.
I just have to say real quick, in our defense, Tammy, our lives change so much that the house is one of those small things that we can have control over. So we like things a certain way.
Yep. I'm with you 100% on that, Michelle.
Control
100%.
what I can.
Yeah. It hurts. It hurts so bad. I just don't know where to put my dirty clothes.
There's a laundry basket. We have a laundry room that has a basket that he can. It's all pre-sorted.
It's in the basement. That's a lot of floors.
You can
shower in the basement.
Oh yeah, I do shower in the basement though.
Oh wow, that's crazy. So
you're frozen.
We could literally say, but she's not frozen on our end.
Okay.
What we could say though is that for those listening, if they're trying to learn, it's like you don't have it all figured out, and that patience thing is just comes and goes, and sometimes, and we're going to probably hit upon this in a couple further down, but it's just learning each other and understanding and having fun with it sometimes, because sometimes, yeah, you may get annoyed. It's like, whatever, who cares? It doesn't. Yeah. It's not life or death, right?
Nobody's shooting at you.
Hey, and that's it right there. No one is shooting at us yet. Ed, do you want to knock out a couple more down here?
All right,
you got any in mind?
Now? So
I mean, we had patience. I was curious to see where you wanted to go, where you all might want to go next.
Where you want to go, Tam? We did patience. Oh, you want to go way down?
Oh,
no.
I mean, we're pretty good at number 16.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Having
one.
Fun?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a good one for y'all.
I mean, we haven't had children in the house in many years, but we definitely have Nerf guns. And it's funny because a few weeks ago, one of our friends had a memory on Facebook that they shared, and it is Tammy and I chasing each other around the neighborhood at Fort Campbell with Nerf guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I saw the video.
Yeah. But you just gotta enjoy your time together, whether it's riding a bike, taking a hike. Oh, special guest star. Taking a hike. What else? I mean, Nerf guns, bowling. New Year's Eve, we just went bowling together. I whooped her too. I whooped her. But we went bowling together. So those are the things like you just have fun, just laugh.
Yeah,
It just makes it easier to adjust to some of the other stuff because we've said a few times, Brian. A lot of these things are tough, right?
Yeah,
that we're talking about. But marriage is tough. It takes work, and then the payoff is worth all that work. So I think that just having fun together is part of it. I mean, we laugh. I'm gonna laugh at her now with this snorting stuff she's been doing today. It's just hilarious. But,
it happens in our house probably. I would say at least every other day, if not daily. Yeah. It's the times that we don't have patience that we don't get that so much. But no, that beef, have fun. I know, like to me, it's like if you don't have fun at some point, I mean, when is it? What's it all worth? I mean, I just have a hard time understanding like the whole. If you're not having fun, then what are you having? Like, what is going on? Within a relationship.
I mean, and it doesn't have to be nothing so like complicated. Like for us. Going back to Fort Campbell, a day at Hattie B's and McKay's.
Oh yes,
that is a great time.
Yes.
We didn't get to go. We went home. We went home over Christmas. We didn't get to go to either place because I think we only went to Nashville once.
Yeah, and that was for Eva's birthday.
But we had fun that day. We did have fun. We had that fun that day because what I thought was fun for us is our children stayed with their grandparents the whole time we were home. So it was kind of like we get to like even if we were at the Airbnb, it was just her and I. There was nobody else there, so it was awesome. Nice.
Yeah, that is.
We were in bed by 7:30, no problem.
Oh man, late night.
But yeah, it's just having fun. I mean, that is something that I feel like it's like you got to get out, and even if it can be something free, it doesn't have to be something you pay for, but just go and do stuff together. That can be.
Well, where did we go yesterday? We
went to Luxembourg.
Yeah, we went to a little village outside of Luxembourg, Ethelbrecht. And Ethelbrecht is the first village that General Patton liberated. So there's a big Patton statue there. There's a Patton Memorial Museum there. Went to a pizzeria, went to the museum. It was a good time. I mean, yeah, we just went and had fun, just puttered around a little bit. And, so I think we're going to Belgium next weekend.
It's funny. You brought something up. You were talking about German and everything German, and we have a German friend, and you talk about having fun. So we have fun sometimes with other languages. And Michelle, is it butterfly or hippopotamus?
They're both funny.
Okay, the word which in German for butterfly or hippopotamus, it sounds so vicious, and
there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's like snarflock or what is it?
I'm going to slaughter it, and so.
Yeah.
Schmetterling, and
Nimflach, but it's like
that's probably not even right.
Like we had a conversation. Was it yesterday? We went to
Friday.
Like Costco's. Okay, Friday we went to Costco's and everything, and we were coming back, but there was somebody that approached us, asking for money and all this stuff, and then we got in a conversation on the way home, and I was like. We have this friend who's German. She's from Germany. And I said, I wonder if such and such, like if they were ever approached by somebody and they didn't want to like just speak German to them because I don't want to give you money right now, like we laughed about that for like a few moments. Like I wasn't laughing at somebody else's circumstances. I was just saying, if you don't want to deal with a car salesman, you just start speaking German to him.
Different language.
Even no sounds really vicious. Nine. Like it's It's pretty vicious sounding. Like, okay, forget about it. I don't want your change. It's fine. Oh.
No, it is definitely not a love language, as some may think, but it's something. It's different. It's funny because we learned. And
she taught us all kinds of words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then we're in the car that same day with our children. The same day we had picked them up, and then we decided we had to go. What do we? We had to go get battery. We had to go get battery. Like this, the adventures of the Webbers
for the controllers.
Yeah, for our
gaming
controllers. So we go to the Dollar Tree, and Ethan has picked up on this "your mom" thing. You know, like you say something.
I know. Yeah. It's still around.
So next thing you know, like we started looking up. She's got the Google Translator out, and we're looking up Spanish. You know, and so every time now Ethan says, tu mama, you know, like your mom. So, but it's just, but it's the stupid small things, right, that make you laugh. Like then next thing you know, we were looking up all kinds of phrases, and our children were, but it was fun. It was a moment. You know, it wasn't the everybody shut up in the car. It's too loud. You know, that type of situation.
I mean, both of those create memories, though, right? Like the laughing and the. I remember the shut up. You just sit back there and don't touch your sister's ears anymore. Like,
would you stop touching your sister?
Hey, bro. So we have the back seat, the cup holder thing comes down. Yeah. Like that's a barrier. That's a war. Like there's a treaty involved in that. Like we pull that down, you break that treaty, and it's international war.
They need catapults. That's all.
Yeah.
Whoa, stop.
Yeah, that right there. I can't. All right, hey, so we talk about battles, and this is the one there's two I wanted to really get to. This very next one is one, choose your battles. In a relationship, how does that translate to leadership lessons?
Go ahead.
Choose your battles.
You want me to go ahead?
Oh.
You know, we in the military, we say all the time, choose the hill you want to die on. Like, is that really the hill you want to die on? Is that the fight you want to fight? So you just got to be smart about it. Like, you know, if Tammy, let's just say Tammy makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day, and every day she leaves her plate on the counter, is that really the fight you want to have about that plate? When I can just pick it up and she does it, by the way. She doesn't eat peanut butter and jelly. That's why I use that. You know, I could just take the plate and throw it in the sink instead of having a fight over it. So in previous times, I've been with people who fought a lot about silly, small things like that. And that's what this is. This is like, you know, make sure whatever your battle is, whatever your issues are, I'm not saying fight, but choose wisely. Not the plate on the counter.
Well, on the marriage or family side of that, I grew up in a household where it was my parents fought all the time. My dad, he was an alcoholic, and he chose to pick fights all the time. My mom was not a fighter. She would just accept all the screaming and yelling. And for me, that was something that I said I would never, ever allow in my life when I grew up. So to this day, knock on wood, we've never fought. We've had one incident where our voices were raised, and it was over the silliest thing. It was about surround sound in the living room.
You bugging me when I was trying to put it together.
Yep. It absolutely
were you doing it wrong?
He wasn't doing it right. He wasn't doing it the way I would do it. Right?
And I hadn't had dinner, I think, either.
Yeah, no, but that was it. And then we have a signal anyways, where if we're getting close to getting too upset, my hands go up and I'm like, okay, I'm just stepping away, and I walk away because life is too short for me to fight. You have to put too much energy into it. And
Floyd Mayweather gets paid a lot of money to fight. I don't.
Yeah.
So.
That's a good,
we choose not to.
Yeah. That's good advice right there. What you said, and maybe I could remember that more often, because we don't really fight. Like we may get upset about something, but we know how to separate also. But you just said professional fighters get paid to fight. Mm-hmm. We don't get paid in the marriage to fight. And that's a good idea. That's a good thought process for people to think about, because then how that translates to, say, the work life or the community that you're working in, or maybe school, whatever it is. It's like, am I really earning something to fight or stand on that that hill.
Yeah.
What am I earning out of this? And maybe, Ed, maybe there are the times it's like, I've got to fight for these benefits or this XYZ for this soldier. I got to fight. Yeah. I've got to fight to get something done that's beneficial.
Yeah.
But in most cases, it's like, is it really worth it? I don't know. So we've had an instance where we hear noise on the other side of the walls at our house because we live in a townhome kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed when Michelle's getting agitated with it, right? And I can tell, like yesterday she got agitated. She actually got agitated because then one of those children actually came and we leave or she does. I don't do anything. She leaves treats out for the delivery drivers, right? Because we get Amazon packages, we get all these different things and we have deliveries and she leaves things out. And one of those children that lives next door, who's often loud, that you can hear the don't, the noises.
At 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
When they should be in bed.
So she had already, so she had already heard the thumping and stuff yesterday during the day. And then one of those children knocked on our door to get their ball out of the backyard, and I got it for him. And then she comes and says, "Did you see that?" And I'm like, "What? See what?" He just took one of the Gatorades for one of the delivery drivers and took off with it. I'm like, I don't care. But I knew that was like, she was upset at the moment, but I think it was the building, and that happens though.
Well, and I wasn't upset. I'm not upset that a kid wanted a snack or something to drink.
Yeah.
It's that the mother was out there, and we've had incidences with this particular family. It's a buildup,
right? Yeah,
over time. Yeah,
exactly.
But long story short, she heard thumping again later, and she hits the wall, and I'm like, there are things I choose not to do, and I think one of them's that.
Can't believe you just ratted me out on that. It's not my proudest moment.
But it was a moment, right? And I wasn't mad at, I'm not going to sit there and argue with her about it. Hey, I choose my battles. Go ahead.
I see two different types of knock too. Like Michelle is very dainty, like da, 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 and you're like she was Fred Flintstone at the door, like ah!
Bro, I was in another room and I heard it. Okay, so
thin walls, government housing. It's thin walls.
Yeah. No, but learning to pick those battles. I think it's like, so. Let me go back to the clothes hamper thing, right?
We're just talking all about me now.
No. What I'm going at with it is like, I've learned, like, I don't care. That's not a fight to have. You know what I mean? Like, why fight about where the clothes? I'll joke about it.
Looking to validate it.
Yeah, I'm looking to validate. No, but I'm just saying, I'm a joke about it, but I'm not upset that there's not a clothes basket where I would expect it to be. Like, I think you learn to live past those things. Like, my small nuances, are they really affecting the relationship? I don't think so.
They might be. I'm not sure right now.
Yeah. I think we use humor in some cases. So let's talk about Tammy's sweatshirt.
What does it say?
Tammy bought this sweatshirt at the bike shop.
No, not this one.
No. But in fairness, it wasn't labeled. And it was expensive. It was the real tag.
The real tag was €79.
Euro, not dollars. So
that's like what, $90?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, so now every time I see her in that sweatshirt, I say, "Oh, is that your $102.35 sweatshirt?" And then the next time it'll be $105 sweatshirt.
Oh, you keep adding to it.
Yeah, but I do it too.
Yeah, now she does it too.
I just keep adding prices to it.
So
I'm like, it's okay.
But in fairness, it wasn't marked, and I told her, "Well, just get the sweatshirt," because Tammy is the type of person to be like, "I love this color. I want this sweatshirt," and she'll be like, "No, I'm not getting it," because she thinks we're private still. And then later she'll be like, "I'm going to go back and get that sweatshirt." So knowing your spouse, there are many like her, but this one is mine.
Yours, yeah.
No, it's funny you said that. Going back and get it. Wait, we're not private somewhere. She came home from the thrift store. She's like, "I almost bought these curtains," and she told me how much they were, and I was like, "Why didn't you? They're like $3. So what?" And she spent some pennies for $3. And so what I do, I said, "Let's get in the car." We drove back over there, went and got those little curtains or whatever.
Well,
but
no.
It's just funny.
If I know Michelle, And if she's anything like me, it's like, what else can that money go towards?
Yeah.
It's not, what can I buy for me? It's what can that money go towards? That's it. So if I could get my son, when he was at home, if I could get my son something that he wants, I will go without in order to give for him.
Yep.
No, and that's fine. I think that's fine. But I also have to browbeat her. And those are the battles I do choose. I do choose, like when she says, I need a new blah, blah, blah. Like, I will fight that battle. Go get it. Buy it. You deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, you've earned it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I take it from her in the store because she's very good for picking up something and then walking around and then hanging it up. I just take it from her. I take it from her and I go, you're not getting this back till we're out the store. And then I take the receipt. So we just make sure that she gets the things that she likes because she'll be like, no, I don't really need it. But then she'll go buy, the new Batmobile Lego for me.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So it's funny you brought that up because we had been debating on getting the robot vacuums, the Ramba, thing.
I've been talking about it forever.
She has, and I was like, pull the trigger. Let's buy it. All right. And it does help out because our dog does shed. I don't think yours does she?
Poodles don't shed.
So he does. He's a shedder. He is something.
Jimmy the Hound.
Yes. But so we needed it because, I mean, she's already, like taking care of the children, doing a lot, like all these different things that are like massive. And it's like now we added with the dog. We felt bad for him, one, because he was just a stray. So we bring him home and he didn't have a problem. And then he gets home and it's like hair everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, just pull the trigger. Let's buy that, And she says, well, happy Valentine's Day. I bought it.
That's awesome.
It's a both of us present.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's
because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not vacuuming 5 times a day.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's choosing those battles though, right? Like I don't gripe about like the condition if our house something's out of place. I don't care. I
Unless
really
it's
don't.
the laundry basket.
Yeah.
And then he cares.
Except for that. We know that one.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah. But hey, so we're gonna move on.
All right.
So there are 2 left actually on this list, and I think the last one is probably the most appropriate for people to understand. Because she already commented on it earlier, and I said we get to it at some point. She made a comment on it earlier, and I think this one's important. I really do. I think this, to me, it's kind of like, is it worth the choose your battles or the ground you stand on? Michelle, what's this next one?
Give up your right to be right.
Oh, how do we do that though?
I don't.
But isn't it tough though sometimes?
Yeah, I don't. I am not good at it. And I did not know I wasn't good at this until last week when we were discussing the article. And I was told that I'm not very good at it. So, but that's fine. That's marriage. That's, okay, well, let me at least try to be better at it,
Yeah. And that's a good thing though, because that goes back to the listening. That goes back to the talking and committed and stuff, right? And there are moments, I feel like you, Ed, where I feel like I need to be right. And there are other times where I'm like, let's just see how this plays out and see if I'm right. I like those moments even better because it's always like, But at the same time, it's like you can't sit there and like bask in your rightness. You know what I mean? Because if you do that, then it's like that's not
no victory parades.
There is no we're having a parade today.
One time I had a parade.
Did you really?
No. I just marched around the house.
No, but, I do. I want to hear from both sides, the women's side of that, giving up your right to be right. So either one of you, if you want to step in.
Probably can't see my cup, but it says Mrs. Always Right.
There you go.
That is hilarious that just worked out. My dad bought me this cup.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thanks, Dudley. Thanks. It's funny sometimes. So she has 2. She does that one, and then the other one, the boss.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. Yeah. She has that one. I get up really early in the morning. It's not, I don't know how early it's compared. I get up at 4 and I make coffee at 4. And then if I know she's awake, I'll pick one of those 2 cups And it's like, how do I think she's going to feel today? Let me see. She's going to be like a boss, or she's going to be always right. Let me get this always right. It's just funny. But no, seriously, thoughts on that always being right. Like, when do you pull back? When do you push down on the gas pedal in a marriage?
He wanted to hear from the ladies.
I got the perfect sound for this one.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, crickets.
Yeah, he wanted to hear from the ladies on this one.
Michelle can go first.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You very
Yeah.
I think it really just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we talking about? Am I really right? Is that something we can compromise on?
Ooh, compromise. That's a good word.
Yeah.
I think it really just depends on the situation and what we're talking about.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's some things that if I feel very strongly about it and I know I'm right, I'm not going to give my right up to be right.
No.
And there's sometimes we can agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I will say, if I'm wrong about something, I'll say, "Oh, okay, I was wrong." I don't have a problem saying that. What was that?
Applause. No, it's your side, Tammy. Let's hear it. Let's hear what you got.
Well, so I have a hard time with this guy because this guy is competitive. And it's he's not so much competitive with me. So the whole family aspect with him, they all compete and they've all got to be right. They're like, no, I'm the one who's right. No, I've got this. Blah, blah, blah.
Are you referring to the brothers and sisters? That whole gang?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
all right.
Okay.
The siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I see it on Facebook all the time.
With us, he has a tendency to have to be right. And even when he's wrong, he tries to make it like he's still right. And so that creates the competitiveness in me because I've got to prove that he is wrong. So I've got to be right. So, yeah, I don't know.
So let me ask you this.
I don't have a good answer for that because it's just the way it is with him and his family.
My dog's over here hacking up something. No, so let's transition that though. Let's look at it this way because we all do something outside of the home, whatever. How does the giving up your right to always be right, how does that translate to whatever it is you're doing outside the home, whether it be work, whether it be extracurricular activity, whatever it is, dealing with friends? Like, how does that translate for you to be able to understand, hey, listen, I can't always be right?
Me, when it comes to work, I am so much easier to give up my right to be right when it comes to work because at work, I'm willing to listen to other sides, to adapt, to understand. Whereas at home, if it's my battleground per se, and this is the guy I'm battling, I don't always want to give it up. But yeah, at work or outside of the home, I am much what? I give up my right to be right much easier outside of home than I do inside the home.
Right, so if we look at it this way, like we look at that whole outside the home being right, Ed.
Yeah.
How does that affect you at your workplace or even with your friends?
Well, so the work for us, Brian, is a little bit different to me because as the Bearded Ninja taught us, there's always doctrine, right? Doctrine is always going to back us if we're right or wrong. So I think it's a little bit different to me. Now with my siblings, I'm right. I'm the oldest, I'm right. But I mean, there are times at work though that where you do question it, something new, something maybe you're not familiar with in doctrine,
right?
And then you just kind of listen to reason. I'm surrounded by seniors, right? So I just listen to what they've experienced because I've never been on a staff, at this level. So you try to listen and just kind of decipher, okay, that sounds right. Then you can just go back and check doctrine and, yeah. So, I mean, you don't have to always be right at work. You don't have to always be right at home. I wish I was better at it. I mean, I'm always right, but I wish I was better.
There he goes.
So, and then I'm gonna kind of transition that. I'm gonna throw a softball pitch to Michelle on this one because I see this. This is one of the things I see. She's a big part of the PTA, right? This is her second. This is her second PTA she's a part of, and she's held a position within that. And she talks to me about these things, and I hear the things that she says. And how hard is it? Sometimes, like when you know that the group is selecting to do one thing, and you've seen that play out before, and you okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh my goodness! And you see that you've seen that play out one way before, and then you're like, you know what? I got to back up to allow that to play out. Like, how hard is that for you to see that?
Oh, that's really hard. It's really, really hard for me, to the point to where I'll write a whole message and then I'll delete it and start over, because with the PTA, even like we as a board, we vote on things. The majority rules, whether it's my way or not. But that's something I do struggle with because I have the experience and I've been on boards and see how things play out. And every school's different and every board's different. And I think with this particular one, it's a little bit harder because I'm the oldest person on the board. That hurt to say, but I have experience. I have more experience, with it, and it's hard for me to let those things play out because they have to learn just like we had. I mean, I made the same mistakes, so it's hard to watch somebody fail at something when you just can't do anything about it.
Right, exactly.
That makes sense. Yeah. So, in transition to that, so we brought it around full circle. And one of the things I've learned, and this has helped me to listen more at work, to what's being said, because like I may feel right inside about something, but if I don't know the complete story, then maybe I'm not right, and maybe I need to that's one of those things that I guess like I like it so much because that's something I've tried to work on within my marriage and at work. Like that is literally something I've put effort towards, that I have focused on. And so I find it to be, I guess you could say, it's influencing. It's very much influential to me, about the always be right thing, because like say, for instance, I can transition all the way back to Ed and I working together at Academy. He would come into the office and he would have something he'd say about my instructors and stuff. Now, could I have battled him to try to be right on X, Y, and Z? No, I told him to do this or whatever. Instead, I'd listen to him. I want to hear his conversation. I want to know what he's thinking. And then how do I bring this up to that instructor without creating a big problem? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it transitioned for me. It's like, how do I keep the peace? How do I not? I mean, I don't want to be a peacemaker all the time. Sometimes you just got to get on Xbox and shoot, as many people as you can on, in the game.
Eliminate.
Eliminate. That's what we call it in our house. We're not allowed to say, "Oh, somebody killed me." No, they eliminated me. That's it's a word because. To me, I think it's very important to understand words.
Absolutely,
words mean things.
Yeah, exactly. But it's that idea though, to be able to take I'm not right and to be able to transition that. You know what I mean? All the time.
Yeah, I'm thinking now, Brian, about work and stuff. And the other thing too, you start to realize when you get there, right? You're forming your opinion of your organization. You kind of also figure out who knows what they're talking about. And who is just talking
to be heard?
To be heard. Thank you. Trying to eliminate the use there. But so you figure that out. So then when that person, so if Rick says to you when we were working there, Brian, hey, you're doing this, and this wrong when you're teaching that class. Well, he's been there for a long time. We knew he knows what he's talking about when it comes to instructing. You would listen to that, right? But then if the new, let's say, math sergeant on board says, who's never instructed, says, hey, you're doing that wrong, then you're kind of like, and here's why it's wrong. But is that doctrine or you know what I mean? So you figure out those people that, okay, if they said it, there's a good chance I may be wrong. They may be right. And then if they said it, I need to look into that a little more. So you kind of form that opinion and you do that analysis of it. So I think that's another thing about being right and not always being right.
Could we almost engage this same thing though, with like you gave me that pen holder and it says pay the bill on it.
He loves that pen
in a
holder.
Sense. Yeah, I do. I use it. It's right there. My kids come and change the date on it all the time. But could we use that whole pay the bill for leadership capital? Can't you use that in not only in the workplace but also at home? You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna lead the family through X, Y, and Z, but maybe it's not my turn to lead through something. Maybe it's her turn to lead because I can barely keep the kids alive. You know,
wife
that's
credit.
One of the things. Yeah, like she's earning massive mom wife credit. You know? They come to her when they're sad. They don't come to me because I tell them rub dirt on it, you'll be fine. You know, type of thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, Tammy is a big fan of the leadership capital stuff. What do you think, Tam?
That's a weird chuckle.
Well, she talks about like with her organization, she talks all the time about building capital with people that she works with, her peers, you know, and those that work for her. So I know she's a fan of that idea. So that's why I was wondering what she thought about it.
Well, so I said when it comes to work, I give up my right to be right. I work with a lot of people who are younger than me. Even though the way I do things, the way I was taught to do things is the right way to do it, they might have smarter, quicker ways to do it.
Right.
So I have to listen to them, let them put their thoughts into action, and then whether it comes out the way it should or it shouldn't, it's still a learning, kind of like a learning experience for them, why we do it this way or why we don't do it that way. So I'm always more than willing to listen to them and let them do what they want to do in order to get to the end result that we're supposed to be at anyways. And then if it doesn't work out and they come to me and they're like, Tammy, it didn't work out. You know, I didn't do it right. This happened. Then I say to them, okay, well, what do you think you could have changed in order to get to the end result? And that way I'm giving all of, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm giving them the opportunity to correct what they did wrong or find another way in order for them to get to the end result.
So to develop, you're really...
That's it. Thank you.
No, exactly.
We do it in the kitchen too. I'll say, hey, Tam, what do you think about me moving the cutting area, right? And we cut the food to here. And then when she goes to cut things and doesn't like it, then it goes back to where it was before. But she does let me make recommendations about her rearrangements of the kitchen.
Recommendations.
I get the same type of it's
about the
it's,
hamper.
Hey, Brian. No, it's hey Brian. What do you think about we don't dirty every dish when you decide to cook? You know, but I did.
You wash when you cook.
I cleaned them all last night.
Wash as you cook.
He did last night.
Yeah. No, she went out with the ladies and played bingo, so I made dinner for me and the children. So
good girl.
It's like she came back. Like I'm totally side winging here real quick. She came back with some crazy stories. Like those ladies are psycho. I'm just gonna
psycho.
I get that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that, but that's craziness over there. And I would get in. I would stand on my battleground over there, and I will be right.
No, you would definitely would not win over there.
Yeah.
She almost she told me like she almost won $500. Like
no, I was 2 away.
2 away. Okay, she was 2 away, and some lady just says it, and then lady didn't win, and then it went one more time, and another lady won. So it was
I felt bad for her.
It was crazy.
Wish she would have
It's
won.
that punishment. And Practical Joker's punishment. They made the one guy had to go in, and he had to keep calling bingo, even though he didn't have it. And you could watch the crowd turn on him. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad. Now they go to have fun. No, I mean, I just thought it was. I think this was a great selection, Ed, on your part to say. I mean, to me, it's like this is episode 100, and we don't know how much further we go. But to do it with our wives, our significant other, our spouse, the person that we want to spend the rest of our life with, it wouldn't be. No, there would be nothing other way to make it fitting. Some people may not get as much from this, but I would tell you, I feel like Ed, Tammy, Michelle, I think going through, it's like this is what the first 16, 17 years is like. Can you imagine what the flip side will be and how much fun it can be? To have stuff like this that you look at and you're like, I never thought about that. Or, we worked on that, and then having, hold on. And then having stupid stuff like a book, the 3,000 questions of me. And then, we sat in a car, we were waiting for haircuts and do that. Like that to me, that builds upon the relationship. You guys doing your things, like building your Lego. You have more Legos than my children, by the way. But
yeah.
And I only buy my kids Legos because I want to play with them. But but it's those things that build on the marriage, and the fact that we get to share our 100th episode with them, Ed, I think is pretty special. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the idea. I mean, man, 100 episodes. What we've been 4 countries. 4 countries. I mean, we've been at it for a few years now. And we hadn't had them on in a while. And it's good to see the people to keep us grounded. So I think that for the listeners, for the YouTube, this is the first time they've been on YouTube. So they're both making their on-screen debut.
Yeah. Because when we had them on last time, we didn't have video, but now we do.
Oh.
Yeah, now we have videos. So I think it's a good thing. And again, like the Sundays, especially with the time difference, right? Like Michelle has to deal with you getting out of bed, bright and early on a Sunday to record an episode. And Tammy's got to deal with me 2 hours of not recording, of talking to Brian and recording 2 hours. And then I'm supposed to be cooking dinner. And so they've dealt with so much over these first 100 episodes. So, I mean, that was kind of my thought going into it.
And this is all for a hobby. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, they're Army-wise, that's a hobby too, right? Like, being in the Army's a hobby, isn't it?
No,
hobby.
I think if you're in your first 2 years, maybe, but not this far in, bro.
No.
Looking at retirement now.
Yeah. Retirement. No, hey, so ladies, thank you very much. This is so awesome to be able to spend this time with you all. And obviously, this is probably not going to be the last time the two of you get to be, are part of it. Maybe we'll look forward to, a couple episodes down. Thank you so much. Unless anybody else has anything else, I was going to ask Ed something real quick.
Up top. There you go. Yeah.
What was that? That was a high five. I can't lift my arm too
high. The highest of fives.
Down
we get low.
Hey, there you go.
We go low. No, Ed. So we went through this whole thing with these lovely ladies, and if somebody wanted to be able to connect with us and to help us, out, or to suggest something, or just to get to know more and hear more, is there like some mythical creature that can help them that they can like pet, and then, or like a lamp they can rub, or anything like that?
No.
Huh?
Buckbeat. No.
I have no idea.
Why?
What can they do, buddy? What can they do to connect with us?
Well, they can check us out on all platforms of social media. 101 Influence on Facebook. They will find a link there. They will answer a couple of questions, and one of our talented staff, that's you and I, Brian, will approve their entry into the Facebook page where they can interact with us. Also, 101 Influence on Instagram. And then, of course, the Instinctive Influencers on YouTube. Subscribe. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. Thumbs up. Comments.
Thumbs up.
Concerns. Suggestions. What have you.
It's funny. So I'm hopefully when I edit this, there's only actually 2 videos, but there's 3 videos across here. So we can see us, we can see just Tammy, and then we can see Ed. The one with Tammy and Ed, it's completely frozen on our end. All I can see is Tammy and her reaction, and that's it. I have no idea what Ed's doing over there.
I have no idea either. Oh.
Yeah, like the frozen.
Oh, it frozen
like
the high
this.
five.
Yeah.
High five. There you are.
There it is. All right. Hey, yeah, thank you so very much for the listeners. 100 episodes. I can't believe we made it this far. It's amazing. I can't wait for the next one is crucial, Ed.
101.
That's just a hint, and we're going to go over some 101 stuff because that's us. But yes, other than that, I have nothing else for the group unless you do, Ed.
I have nothing else, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. This is awesome. I can't wait to edit this and get this out. But with that, I am Brian.
And I am Ed.
And this has been the Instinctive Influencers podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Work on that relationship and then take it home to work. This is normally what Ed says something weird. We don't know.
Just something weird.